The data below represents the amount in grams of carbohydrates in breakfast cereals. We're going to find the mean, something called the 5-number summary. I'm going to show you how to construct a box and whisker and the interquartile range. Let me bring up my calculator. I'm going to create a list with this data. So I've hit stats and enter on that edit, and I'll type these numbers in. And the last one right there. Anytime you've entered a list, you quickly want to get out, so I hit second quit. And I'm going to go to my most important button in stats. Under stat, over to calculate, that 1 var stat button. Hit enter again, and right there you see what your average is. So the mean is 19.73. The 5-number summary, if we scroll farther down, the 5-number summary is the minimum, something called Q1, which is quartile 1, which stands for the place of the lowest 25% of the data. Your median, something we did yesterday. Q number 3, which stands for the 75th percentile, and then the max. So we have 11 for our minimum, 15 for the Q1, the median is 20, the Q3 is 23, and the max is 29. We're going to show you how to construct a box and whisker. A box and whisker, just like the name implies, you will have a box and you'll have whiskers on the sides, just like that right there. The left side whisker is the length from the minimum to Q1. So your left whisker is 15 minus 11, which is 4. Your right whisker is the length from the last two numbers, the 23 to the 29. So your right whisker is 29 minus 23, which is going to be slightly longer, which is 6. The length of the box is also called your IQR, your interquartile range. You want IQR, which is D here. The length of the box is Q number 3 minus Q number 1, and that gives me 8. So using those numbers, I think I can come up with a pretty nice looking drawing. So I'm going to go 4. I just made a whisker, and what I want to do is make my box twice that size because the box is 8. And the right hand whisker is 6, which will be a little bit longer than the left hand whisker. And I'm pretty pleased with that right there. Put me a dash right here. Now normally I'll put the numbers up on top, but I'm running out of room, so I'm going to put a 4 here. Not a 4. I'm going to put the minimum here and the maximum here. Q1 is the front of the box. Q3 is the back of the box. And the median is somewhere in between. Now since 20 is closer to 23, I'm going to draw me a divider closer to 23. And there's where I'll put my median at. That's a nice box and whisker. You could create these on your calculator by going through this little procedure here. We want to do something with the stat plot. So I'm going to do second y equals, and that gets me into the stat plot. I'm going to hit enter because I want to go into that plot number 1, and I want to turn that on. I move down here to the type, and I move all the way over to next to the last right there. And I hit enter there. If you go to your graph right now, you're not going to see anything because these numbers are higher than 10. And your graph, when you go to the right, it only goes up to 10. The button that adapts it is under Zoom. You go down to number 9, or you could just press 9, but it's that Zoom stat. And as soon as you hit enter, that is your box and whisker. And that Looks pretty close to mine. Hey, have a nice day. If you need any help with the calculator, please ask.